understand.
Maybe. That would be nice. But I'm not so sure you do. Lena is in a crisis. Her life is falling apart around her. And the only thing I am interested in is to give her back a family. A tribe, if you will, with meaning, with a future. She is holding herself hostage because she doesn't know what else to do. That's the only thing I am interested in. And I want you to come from the same identical place of love. And if you can't or don't want to do that, my daughter is right in wanting you out of her life.
Both Glen and Sylvie had their eyes glued to the table in front of them.
Would you get me something to drink? That would be nice.
I know where it is, Sylvie. I can get it.
Oh, Grandma, you are so wonderful, and don't think I'm trying to, it's just that you nail things in a way that I don't know anyone else, except Mom used to be able to do that. Strange that you use the word tribe, too. Gives me this feeling that this is all more about just you and me and Glen and Mom.
Glen returns from the kitchen, takes a long way around the table to bring Adele her drink from the proper side of the waiter. Retraces his steps all the way around and places another glass in front of Sylvie.
Is that what you wanted? Your favorite?
Thank you, Glen. What I really wanted to know, need to know from you is how you see yourself in this whole thing.
Here?
No, not here directly. How you handle this whole military thing in your work and in your life. How can you sharpen a knife and not think of what you're going to cut with it? Drones aren't used for humanitarian food drops, or are they?
Actually, there are some non-military applications, but not ours. I was going to try and get into one of those projects, but I couldn't do that at the time. Conflict of interest, they said.
Well, you've got one walking conflict of interest staring you in the face right now.
I know. It really is amazing, all the things I don't look at. Didn't want to connect the dots. It was all like a piece of fiction I was playing in. I was playing this successful whiz kid building all these amazing toys, like a bionic trick dog that can jump and run and flip and all that. And I wonder,
What?
how many of my groups there ever stop to think? Like that knife sharpening story. We have our heads into numbers and functions and firmware routines, and we ring a bell every time we can elegantly get 2 lines of code into one. You know, it's all about the process, like in a bubble.
Poof!
This is big, Sylvie. Well, it's like the first time in my life I'm making a life decision, and I'm making it myself. It's not the slipstream of an opportunity. It's what I want. I want to be with you. It's like, well, I know this is not about me, but it really is like being born to a life of my own decisions. May I call you grandmother?
Noise is being heard from outside the front door, but the 3 people seem less aware of it than the audience. Sylvie gets up and steps behind Glen, puts her arms around him, and sways with him for a moment.
Time for a diaper change, my little one?
We hear a key in the door. The door opens, but stays ajar. The conversation stops. Sylvie tightens her embrace about Glen. The door opens fully as Lena swings her heavy knapsack into the room. She stops dead in her tracks. The door stays open. Lena first looks at Sylvie, then at Adele, and finally detects Glen under Sylvie's protective hug.
What the fuck? Are you all insane? Out, out, out! Get out of my house! All of you, get out of my house! Who, Mother, was this
this your idea? Sylvie, give me my keys back right now. You! Out!
No one moves except Lena, who stomps towards the chair, yanks the knapsack from it on the floor, and begins to sit onto the chair, but then ends up kneeling in profile, looking stage left. Enraged, raises her fists and collapses. Adele pushes her chair back and gets up to go over to Lena. In silence, she crosses the stage towards Lena. In her steps, we see the years, her empathy with Lena, the many times she could do nothing but witness and love. Adele has never been as much a mother as she is at this very moment.
Lena, my baby, I love you. It's going to be all right. We all love you. We all love you. He loves you too. And there will be more love when you can again let people love you.
Lena tries to get up from her crouch, one hand on her mother's shoulder, one hand reaching for the knapsack, but unable to lift it.
Mom,
Adele gestures at the knapsack.
you don't need that anymore, baby. You're back. Walk free.
Adele caresses Lena's hair.
Haven't done that for a long time.
I guess not.
Mom, can I get you something to drink?
As Lena nods and tries to look lovingly towards Sylvie, she realizes she's also looking at Glen.
It's easier for me over there on the straight chair. Your mother is old, honey.
At this, Glen gets up and steps back from the table as far as he can, but ends up standing right next to Adam's picture. Lena follows her mother to the table and sits down.
I'm not sick, you know.
But convalescing. And when you are sitting comfortably, I would like you to meet someone you don't know.
I don't want to. Just let me be.
From where Lena sits, Glen obscures Adam's picture, and Lena is trying to look around and past Glen.
This one, Lena. Meet this one, the man your daughter loves. Glen. The real Glen. Please meet my daughter, Lena.
Lena, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for my life.
What? I told you to leave. Get out of the way.
Lena motions Glen to step out of the line of sight of Adam's portrait.
Without you, I would still be totally on autopilot. No decisions, all just stuff that happened to me. You forced me to get off autopilot, Lena, for the first time in my life.
We had a long talk yesterday, Mom. Glen and I. Really. If it hadn't been for you, I probably wouldn't be such a bullshit detector. It was close yesterday, but then Glen listened. I was so scared to lose him.
I was scared the moment I set eyes on Sylvie. Very first time. Something scared me, like starting out on a one-lane, one-way street, no turning around. I tried to avoid her, but I couldn't. She was a liaison between her department and mine.
None of this makes any sense to me. What are you saying?
What we're saying.
Let me, Sylvie. What happened yesterday is that I realized I could not pretend I didn't know. That I had to choose between a life with Sylvie or a life buried in software code and letting myself be pushed around by a career I had really no control over. Like a pension plan without a life to go with it. You, Lena, forced me. You forced Sylvie to force me to make the first decision in my life. I mean, not like cream and sugar in my coffee, but really. I feel like a new person. And I probably don't even know how to do that yet.
Lena looks up at Glen again, pans over to Adam's portrait, then back to Glen, buries her face in her hands, slowly raises her head and looks above and in between her fingers at Glen.
You promise. You promise to hurt us no more?
I promise.
But you don't even know what I mean. What I mean is, I'll fucking kill you if you go back to being a robot. I hate having to understand that you didn't know.
You didn't want to know.
Ah, you had choices. And just like everybody, and you didn't make them just like everybody.
Adele walks over to Lena and holds her.
Do you know how to order blue cheese pizza, rocket scientist?
Yes, sir. Is there a place?
A number to call, you mean? Like a magnet on a fridge. No, I should let you find it, but
Lena points at the knapsack.
give me that thing. No, forget that. Forget that. The number? It's right there on the phone.
Glen goes to the phone, hesitates.
What size? Blue cheese, you said? Are there different types? Yes, I would like to order 2. You deliver, right? How long will that take, approximately? Just a ballpark. Okay, then that'll be 2 large blue cheese pizzas, crisp. Yes, with everything. Credit card, hold on, let me get it.
There's a knock at the door, which remains unanswered as Glen is going for his wallet and his jacket by the door. He gets his wallet, turns around to take the phone again, when there's another knock. Max from outside.
Come on, someone open the door. I have my hands full. Hey, you in there?
Should I? Glen points at the door and starts to grab the phone again. The doorbell rings and Adele answers the door. Max enters, balancing a couple of mid-sized pizza cartons.
For God's sake, Lena, you should have told me to bring large ones.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot. I didn't even pick up a video for tonight.
Sorry, I'll call you back.
Whose birthday is this?
Mine, I guess.
Mine, too.
Wait, what do you mean? Yours isn't for another couple of months.
It's not what she means. Something pretty big.
Max, this is something big. And you're not the only one who's confused.
Lena takes the 2 pizza boxes off Max's hands and turns them over to Sylvie, who takes them to the kitchen. Comes back from the kitchen right away.
Do you think I should heat them up?
This, oh,
Lena, speaking to Max, but moving toward her mother, puts an arm around her.
this woman gave me back my life today. That's why it's my birthday, Max. I'm literally disoriented. And there is something else.
She goes over to Glen, puts her arm around his waist, making him nervous.
And then I'd also like to introduce you to Glen, the real person, Glen,
Who has made his first real life decision today. That you all are who I want to be with. Sylvie gave me that. You all gave me that. And that is why it's my birthday.
No need to heat up the pizza.
End of scene. Scene 10. Between the dining table and the back wall, there's an easel with a canvas frame on it. It's facing away from the audience. A small sheet is hanging from the back. A number of books or photo albums, some open, some closed, are on the coffee table. Adam's picture is no longer hanging centered on the wall, but on a stand next to some flowers in a sort of niche. The room is not lit fully, but focused on the coffee table and the flowers. Both kitchen and front door are unlit. A CD player is playing modern Argentinian vocal music. Lena is singing, humming along with the kitchen. The light outside the front door comes on, visible in the narrow window beside the front door. A few beats later, the doorbell rings. We see the tip of a bunch of flowers. The doorbell rings again. Distorted from the window, a male face comes into view briefly, as if trying to peek in. Lena, actually somewhat dressed up, comes from the kitchen and turns down the music. As the doorbell rings one more time, Lena finally realizes someone is outside, turns on the light, flips the sheet to cover the canvas on the easel, straightens herself out, and opens the door.
I'm so sorry. I had the music playing too loud. Come in. Did you have any trouble finding me? I mean, the house.
Not a problem, Charlene. So glad to be here.
You have to step forward so I can close the door.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He steps into the room, still clutching the flowers, blossoms down.
Were they for me?
Oh, yes, of course. Do you have a vase for them?
Not, it's always the bathtub. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm really nervous. Perhaps I shouldn't have had, but it all just lined up like in the movies. Why don't you sit? Anything I can get you to drink?
Lena heads for the kitchen.
Water's fine.
He gets up again and looks at the paintings and at Adam's picture. Lena returns with 2 glasses.
Here's your extravagant drink. I hope you like lemon. I'll be right back with the face.
Interesting art you've got here.
Nah. Just a sec.
As Lena goes to retrieve a vase from the kitchen, Bernard follows a few steps to hand her the flowers, still head down into the door.
Those are beautiful. Did you hold up a flower shop?
No, not really. It's a private end of the day arrangement I have with a pretty young florist. Female.
Don't worry, I didn't think you had any closet to come out of.
True. And not true, Charlene.
Why don't you call me Lena? That's my name now. People know me by that. It's on my driver's license, on my paycheck.
I'm just coming out of the closet of never having stopped loving you. And in my heart, it says Charlene.
Just like that. And what am I supposed to say?
Perhaps nothing for right now. You know, when a person has engraved her name on one's heart, you can't erase it or paint over it or burn it away. And it says Charlene in my heart. And it's as simple as that.
When you first called a couple of weeks ago, I was just going through that box. I thought you can burn those engraved names away.
Is that your son? Looks pretty good. Very strong. Complex. complex.
Can't throw his name away. He was, did I say was? It usually feels so much like is. And just now I had a real sense of past. Hard to explain. Adam is not erased, but he is where he is. Forever in my heart, but not at my dinner table. I just realized that I didn't even ask you if you've ever been married or something like that.
No, never. I tried to make a go of it a few times, but there was always something missing.
Bernard pulls a stack of letters from his inner coat pocket.
That's what was missing.
He puts them on the table. Lena looks at the stack on the table, looks at Bernard.
Oh, where does that put us? Some kind of twilight zone? I mean, I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to think. What's right or wrong?
What could possibly be wrong with this one?
Nothing, I guess. Except for everything in between that and now. You are a semi-retired music professor, and I'm a freight agent with a dead son and 2 daughters. One of them wants to marry the man whose software, firmware, ran the drone that killed my son. Am I a failure? Are you a failure?
I don't feel like a failure. As long as I can give my students something, and as long as I have music nourishing me.
Good questions, Bernard.
What?
Well, I guess you didn't ask point blank. What is nourishing me? That's the question, right?
Painting, maybe? It says Charlene on them, by the way. Huh?
Lena suddenly gets up and points at the coffee table.
That's what I had just found when you called. I was a basket case that evening. It all happened in the same half hour. My being a basket case, finding the photos and the letters, and then your call. I guess I wanted you to see me with them.
Lena tries to decide if she should bring the album to the dining table or bring Bernard to the coffee table. She decides for the coffee table, sits down in the outermost chair and motions to Bernard to come sit in the other one. Bernard picks up his glass and joins Lena. On the way, he notices the light outside the front door still on.
Do you want me to turn that off?
After Bernard joins her, she opens the album to a particular bookmarked page.
What do you say?
Now I'm in the twilight zone. That's what I say. Am I the one doing this? All this going way fast? Or is it you? Or what? Those are drawings of me.
Yeah, they are. I guess you know more about me now than I knew 2 weeks ago.
Bernard looks at the pictures again.
I didn't know you kept them. They are nice. Really nice pictures. And look here. There's one of you and me. When was that?
I don't remember.
Let me think. Your wearing the gown I remember from that ball when I first